It's the end of June, it's the final Saturday of June, and it's the unofficial, official National Poison Ivy Day. We've been pumping it up the last few weeks.
Yes, and we're starting a new holiday, so the last Saturday in June will now be National Poison Ivy Day, and you should go out and learn to recognize poison ivy and teach your children and then everybody else, you know, what it is and how to avoid it, because usually people go camping or go out in the yard or whatever on the 4th of July weekend, and it's one of the biggest weekends of the year for people to get poison ivy, and all you have to do is have it once and you'll decide you don't want to get it again.
And of course, all the details can be found on our website, 953wbck.com, and the WBCK app. But we did have a couple of other questions today on this edition of the Garden Show. One was about a hydrangea that I had not known about.
Yep, Twist and Shout. It's kind of a pinkish red variety, and that's one that, like shade, needs a fair amount of organic soil and moisture in the soil. But that one, no matter how much acid you add to it, will never turn blue, so it'll stay pink and or red.
And we also had a question about bats.
Yep, bats are very beneficial, and a lot of people will put up a bat house trying to get them to come. If you do use a bat house, you want to either put it on a tree that doesn't have any low branches, particularly 12 to 15 feet in the air, or if you can put it on a pole or the side of a barn, that would be an ideal place, preferably facing east.
Extreme heat and not a lot of rain. We did get a big batch in a 5-hour storm for the better part to catch us up in June, but we're going to go through a lot more heat over the next 2 weeks and not a lot of rain.
Yeah, it's going to be very hot and dry, so probably starting about Tuesday of this next week, you're going to want to get your hose back out and start watering, because the ground will dry rapidly. We're going to have wind, so it'll dry things up very quickly. We're also seeing crabgrass really start to grow and germinate, so now is the time to get out there and spray that with crabgrass killer. And also we're seeing a lot of broadleaf weeds, so if you want to apply something for broadleaf weeds that contains 2,4-D, you want to be a little careful, because if temperatures are over 90, that product can turn into something else and actually kill your lawn.
And speaking of weeds, we had a big discussion about hogweed this week.
Yes, giant hogweed is an invasive plant, comes from basically the eastern part of Russia, and that particular plant has a gigantic white blossom on it that looks similar to Queen Anne's lace, and it is in bloom today. So this next week to 10 days you will see it in bloom. It always has a purple stem in this area, and if you touch that plant, it has toxic hairs on it that can cause you to blister, and if you were to get that in your eye, it would cause blindness.
And as we head into July and the 4th of July coming up next Saturday, what will we need to look into?
Well, the big thing is your tomatoes, your peppers, your squashes, your melons, those things are really growing rapidly right now. You definitely want to fertilize them with some liquid fertilizer if you can, and we're also starting to see symptoms of blight on the tomatoes and also a little bit of downy mildew on the melons, so spray with a fungicide like Doconil close to dark. That'll stay on the leaves, stay wet, and that will help control that fungus.
All right, sounds good. Good luck growing, and we'll see you again next week.
Sounds good.